Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Ink comparison day. Thought I'd take a look at a couple of inks in the bluish family. So I thought we'd take a look at Daimine Marine, and that's going to go up against Dominant Industry Lake. Both very, very similar colours. So I thought it'd be an interesting comparison. Join me now, down on the table. We'll take a look at the inks. We'll look at the swatches, chromatography. We'll do a writing sample, then I'll give you my thoughts on these inks. Welcome down to the table. Here we've got today's inks. We've got Daimine Marine, which is in the 30ml bottle. Nice square bottle, plastic bottle. One of the things I find with these, they're easy to tip, so I have to be very careful whenever I'm using these. So there you go, 30ml. Then we've got Dominant Industry Lake. This is a standard ink, 25ml. Nice glass bottle, nice solid base. Again, although I've never had an issue, I always feel I'm going to tip these, so I have to again be very careful. Love the shape of this. I love the way we've got like this bulb type shape. Looks very nice. Not very practical though when you lay it down for doing something like this. That's why I've got my little pen rest there. Otherwise it rolls away like that. Let's move these out of the way. What we'll do is we'll take a look at my swatch cards. So we've got Daimine Marine and we've got Dominant Industry Lake. Both very similar colours. I do find that the Marine, it's more maybe aqua leaning, so it's a little bit lighter, a little bit paler. With the Lake, again slightly darker, a little bit more blue, and occasionally, like here, it looks like where it's pulled, we've got little hints of green as well. So a little bit more of an interesting look when we look at it on the swatch card. Let's go over and look at the chromatography. Very similar but different. So with the Marine, so we start off a little bit of a yellow fringe, then we go into pale blues. As we're going up, we go into them darker blues, and then we've got a little dark blue stripe across the top. With the Lake, we actually start off here with like a very, very pale pastely purple. Then we go into like a pastely green. Then we go into the blues, into the pale blues. Let's move that out of the way. Let's do the interesting part, the writing sample. Here's the notepad of testing. This is Oxford Optic paper, 90 GSM paper. So I try to use the same paper for my tests. The first ink we're going to look at is Daimine Marine. And I'm going to stand it in my trusty inkwell here, or ink stand. I find that makes it just that little bit easier to avoid spillage. My writing implement for all my testing is this Serendipity dip pen. This has got a broad Yoho nib on it. So let's try dipping this in and testing it. So we've got here Daimine Marine. And it's in a Serendipity dip pen. So this is a 30ml bottle, and the cost for this, I checked it just a week ago, is $5 Aussie. So that works out at 17 cents per milliliter. Very good value. I've got to be honest, I do find Daimine inks are exceptionally good value. Let's write a sentence. So we're out there. I'm going to do another dip. This is a problem when you're doing these tests. You can never tell how much you get on when you dip the pen. So it does make a difference between them. And then for my flow test. There we go. Nice smooth pen. Just going to clean out that pen. When I come back, we'll take a look at writing with the Dominant Industry Lake. So I've cleaned out the pen. There we go. Nice clean dip pen to start off with. And here's the Dominant Industry Lake. One of the things I like about Dominant Industry bottles, I know the glass, but they've got a nice wide opening there. It's easy to fill virtually every pen, whereas with that Daimine one, it seems at times to be a little bit too narrow. So a lot of my pens for that, I need to use an ink miser. So let's dip in the pen, give it a good drink. So we've got Dominant, Industry, Lake. And the pen, again, Serendipity, Dip Pen. This is 25 millilitres, so smaller volume, and it's $15. That works out at 60 cents per millilitre. We'll write our sentence. And then we'll scribble off. So there was no need to re-dip that. I say this is one of the issues with using the dip pen. I can't control how much ink I start off with, and unfortunately there's not a way I can use the same pen because I'll end up swapping ink and losing that much ink. So it's a case of it's the best tool I've got, and it does do the job, just with a little bit of understanding of its limitations. I'm going to move this over to dry, and whilst it's drying I'm going to fetch in this. This is my Gale and Leather notebook, 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. I've wrote with both these inks in the same pen, that pen being the Diplomat Aero. This has got a nice, gorgeous broad nib on it. So we'll start by looking at Lake, Daimine Marine. So here we are, Diplomat Aero, Daimine Marine. Love the way the pen writes. I mean, it is a beautiful writing pen, very, very generous pen. That's why it's a nice one to test them both on. I think this ink colour is different from most of my other inks. This was still fairly early on in my fountain pen and ink collecting phase. So, I mean, I don't have a date on this, but I'm guessing this is from 2 years ago. It's very nice. It looks nice. It's nice and bright. I'm going to leave that matte and jump forward to the Diplomat Aero with Dominant Industry Lake. Quickly becoming one of my favourite colours. Let me just move this down so you can actually see the top of it. That's a bit better. You know, this was from about 18 months ago. Like the way that it looks, it's really nice. I say, I'm talking about the pen there. I think it's a beautiful pen. Nice colour. To me, this has got more green in it, whereas on the Marine, that was tending towards more blue, and I was expecting the Marine to be a bit more green than what it is, because to me Marine, that means sea and ocean, which in my imagination, and also to be honest, when I go down, because I live not far from the Indian Ocean, I do see a lot more green in the water there. Now let's see if we can compare these side by side. Bit difficult because they're both on the same page side. So we've got the Marine here on the left, on the right we've got the Lake. You can see there the difference, more turquoisey, more bluey there with the Marine, where we're heading more towards like that tealy, greeny type blue here with the Lake. Let's just move this out of the way. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. So what are my thoughts on these inks? I'll be honest, I do like them both. Recently, I've been reaching more for the Lake. I think it's because it's got that bit more of a green in it. I do like my greens, but I do enjoy writing with them both. The Marine, very close to Daimine Aqua Lagoon, but a little bit greener than the Aqua Lagoon. There is a previous video on my channel if you want to look at a comparison between the two of them. Both write well. Both come off the pen, come off the nib well. Not had any issues in any pens. They're both nice, wet flowing inks. Sometimes I do find that the Lake can be a bit too wet. As we can see here, really enjoyable to write with. We had this issue where I was running out of ink. Again, I put that down to the dip pen. If I have to choose between the two inks, at the moment, although the Marine is cheaper, I think I would go for Lake. If I had to buy another bottle, that's what I would be going for. I just find the colour just a little bit more interesting, and as I say, tending towards the green, which is one of my favourite colours. So they're my thoughts on Daimine Marine and Dominant Industry Lake. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Have you got either of these inks? Have you got any inks that are very similar in colour? I know that with the Marine there's also Diamine Aqua Lagoon, which is a bit more bluer. I like that as well, but I thought these two were quite close, so I thought I'd focus on these for today. Please drop any comments or suggestions down below. Let's kickstart some conversations. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.